What up, baby? We are back, Paradise Valley Podcast, and we got a special one for you here. We're opening it up, hearing it from the league. Of course, though, we're going to start off per usual with our co-hosts. Welcoming in Pat Jamross. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Back at it after a big win over me. Congrats.
Oh, yeah, we're happy to break that 3-game losing streak.
I bet. All right, let's welcome in D. Brown. What's good, dude?
What's up, boys? An honor to be here.
Honor. And the kid is back at 3-5 all of a sudden, so he is fighting and alive in the Valley.
We're shaking things up. We're fighting.
You're fighting. Producer in the backseat app, what's up?
What's going on?
We'll have a couple special
4 L's in a row. There's not much to say.
Not much going on for the Nappers.
All right, we'll have some special guests come in later too, so we'll introduce them then. But first, let's get into it. Little recap. And just like last week, we'll do it a little bit quicker this week because we all know what happened.
Yeah, that was nice. Last week you ran through it smooth. Do it again.
We completely skipped the recap on this one, Kamish.
All right, well, I'll just do it live. I'm on ESPN, so we all know I took the loss, low scoring one, 102 to 84 to Ross. He's back at 4-4, and I fall to 4-4. Trippers put up a showing, 172 to get to 6-2 over CD's Lambs, who quickly have fallen into the basement and are looking like they are going to be joining Sheehan at this point for the last place punishment. C-Mac put up 95, got the win over Sheehan, a big one. He's 5-3 in pretty good playoff position. Sheehan's at 4-4, still fighting, but that Kittle injury is going to be tough. And then, like I mentioned, D. Brown, big win over our producer. 4 straight losses for him, 107-82. Big bounce back wing. Rockers might be getting CMC back this week. They are in business. We'll get to that. And Dim Dogs, 7-1, pacing the Valley. Big win over Sandman, putting up just 79. He didn't even clear 80, and he's back at 4-4. So he had championship sights, big talk, but it's 4-4 in dogfight here for that last couple of playoff spots. So it's an interesting time in the Valley. It's shaping up. Any thoughts, boys?
Yeah, I think first off, Dim's kind of asserted himself as a clear-cut playoff team, and I'd say Kirch is right there with them. I don't think those guys have really any chance of missing playoffs unless a disaster happens. And then if you look at the Valley after last week, of course, C-Mac sneaks by with a low-scoring game against him. Lowest points against in the league, but I don't think he's a 5-3 team. So I think there's 2 valid spots open in the playoffs, and with D Brown at 3-5, and then all of us at 4-4, it's going to be a fight. I think there's 6 of us fighting for 2 spots. It's going to be an interesting last 6 weeks.
Definitely. Like you were saying, it kind of feels like Dim is just hitting all the right buttons this year. Kind of feels like C-Mac a little bit last year. It's like his team is just that clear-cut number one. It's like, can anyone stop him? Hopefully it's not. It doesn't seem like the team of destiny as much as C-Mac's was last year, but Dim's definitely got a nice squad. His MVP Mahomes leading them, and Henry and D-Hop. So he's got a good squad. But the rest, encourage him. I would say him encourage the top 2. But other than that, I'd say it's open for anyone besides Lane.
Besides Lane, that's sure. All right. What do we got then, producer? What's the first slide? We just going with the title slide this week?
Yeah, I'm about to say I couldn't see anything.
All right, so now we're going to open it up. We're going to welcome in C-Mac. What's up, dude?
Going on, boys?
Oh, God.
Got the trophy.
Right here.
How's it feel?
I mean, we feel confident after that one. That was a tough Monday night. I just was not feeling good going to Monday night after Zeke just give me 6 again. Monday night was a stressful night. That's all I have to say.
Coming into it, it definitely looked like I would have felt confident if I were you coming into it. You had Mike Evans and the Bucks D, and you were down like what? How much?
I was down. I would say probably 14 or 15 going in.
I think it was less than that, but yeah, I mean, 5-3, your team's sitting there. You got some questions at the RB2. I mean, some questions at the RB spot with how bad the Cowboys' offense is looking. But it seems like, I don't know, just around the league that a couple owners don't really want to make trades with you. I don't feel like you're going to be making too many trades moving forward.
I mean, right now, obviously, we're in the market for an RB, but I'm also not trying to give up an RB, which Montgomery's getting the touches, but it's just he's not producing, which I feel like he could end up happening.
You're not worried about that he's just maybe a bad player? He's not talented?
I mean, he's only had 1 year under his belt, and it's the Bears' offense. Who knows? We'll see.
Any thoughts of moving Zeke at all?
I've gotten a couple offers for Zeke, but Zeke is just one of those players where it's just he gets fed in the red zone if they can get there.
That's the question.
C-Mac, looking at the roster, the first 2 picks, Zeke and Lamar, are kind of really underperforming. You are 5-3, third place in the league, looking pretty decent right now. But heading forward, do you think you can survive with that low of production out of those 2 guys?
With Zeke, with those 2, I see Lamar. Obviously, Lamar's not having the start. I predicted that he would. He had a good year under his belt, so a lot of defense were preparing for him, and this had preparation for him going into this season. So he's just got to get used to all these new challenges. He's got to throw a little more than he did last year. Because, I mean, last year I was getting RB numbers and quarterback numbers out of him. So obviously I'm not going to get all those numbers I did get out of him last year. But with Zeke, I think it just comes down to is just if Dallas just can get him the ball. Because, I mean, he's if you think about it, other than Amari Cooper, he's pretty much the only offensive guy they really have I consider a threat.
I mean, they got him the ball Sunday night, and it's just –
Oh, I know. And that offensive
not
line's
doing
been
much
banged
with
up,
it.
too. So, we'll see. Those 2 are my go-tos from last year. Those are my heavy 2 guys I depended on last year. That got me the chip. That's why I had to go with them.
Do you feel like having that chip, having that trophy sitting on your lap right there gives you any extra confidence going into the second leg of this season here and potentially playoffs? Or
Looking at it, it just reminds me that it's just not over after the first couple weeks or 3 weeks. It's a grind all year. You got to think of it as that way. Seeing all the owners on here, Ross, Caleb, we guys have been in this league for a while, and we know it's a grind all year. You can't just consider yourself a champion like Sandman did after only 3 weeks.
No, that's I see another calling coming in. Kurt, is that you?
Oh.
Let's go!
Special calling from Kyle Kirchner. What are you, 6-2 now?
Fuck yeah, should be 8-0.
I don't know about that. Some consider you lucky. It's
Couple bad weeks.
That's good, Kirchy.
I don't know. Just prepared for this 3 to 4 game losing skid that I was supposed to be on.
You know, Kirch, we come out here, we make some predictions. Sometimes we hit them, sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we double the predictors' points in 1 week.
You know, we'll see Kirch. I think we got Kirch next week. We'll be looking forward to that one.
Probably the least anticipated game of my remainder. I will say the Rockers are looking deadly.
Yeah, we're putting together a squad, but I don't know. We'll see. Tough start. We'll see if we can go over the hump. But Kurt, your squad looks pretty nasty. I mean, only everyone but your flex was pretty much a set it and forget it in my mind. This week you got Brandon Cooks there, but
yeah,
he's got a good matchup.
I mean, Godwin was a for sure in flex, is why I'm kind of nervous that I traded him away, but he's softer than a pillow right now, so.
Yeah. But Brandon Cooks,
I do need that flex.
Yeah, Cooks has been solid though. He's got a good matchup against the Jags this week. We'll see if he can keep it up. But yeah, you could definitely add a flex position. I mean, earlier in the season, imagine if you flipped Newton for something, a solid flex. If you're looking good right now.
We could have flipped Newton around, but we didn't know Ryan Tannehill was going to join the team off waivers.
I mean, hey, the squad looks good. The squad is deadly. So
can I get one question in here? Was Pat Jamross hoping to get Tannehill this week?
I was not. I'm not. Tannehill has like the hardest 4-game stretch of anyone. He's got Baltimore, or he's got Chicago, Indy twice, and Baltimore. Those are some good defenses.
I bet you he puts 25 plus against Indy.
Kurt, you've made it to the playoffs each of the last 2 years. You think this year you got this squad? I know D. Brown is alluding to it. You got a pretty good team, but is this the one that's going to get you over the hump, you think?
You know, I don't want to jinx it, but the bug has not joined our squad yet. And if we can stay away from that certain bug, we might be able to pull it together.
True.
Seems like
Dalvin
it's
missed
hit everyone.
Dalvin missed one game, but he's just an absolute beast. He's looking like just him getting him at 7th in the draft. That's just a blessed thing.
I'd say,
Absolute
Kirch,
blessing.
though, the past 2 playoff runs, the bug has hit you at the wrong time with, I think, Melvin Gordon a couple of years ago, and who was it last year? Cook, maybe?
No, it was Melvin and Hunt in the same year.
I was going to say,
Yeah, but
Hunt, not the injury bug, but Hunt.
Didn't Cook get hurt in the playoff game last year?
Hunt punted a cunt.
Because, I mean, Kirch has come to the Valley, and he's put together a squad 3 straight years. It's just whether or not can he get that trophy that Mac's holding.
True.
Hey, Kurt, we got C-Mac on the line, too. Anything you want to say to him?
Swiss cheese, Mac. Swiss cheese.
We got him this
Oh,
week,
C-Mac?
so I'm hoping so.
C-Mac's the champ. I got nothing to say but good things. He's a champ.
He came on holding his trophy, loud and proud.
Oh, boy.
Kirch, can Kirch see our vids right now or no?
No.
I wish. My dog ate the laptop charger, so Zoom is not an option right now.
Classic
Zoom.
Turbo.
Can you do Zoom on a phone?
Think so.
Yeah.
Kirch looking to move to Oregon.
Cocaine is legal.
Like, what the hell?
They went out of the ordinary on that. Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know what the thought was there, but I'm sure Kirsch and a bunch of other people will be moving out there soon. All right.
One-way ticket.
Kirch, who you playing this coming week, Kirch? Who you matched up against?
Oh, he's got the nappers.
Oof, they have
What's
5
that?
straight coming up or what?
I hope
Not
so.
looking good. for
Dap's actually got a solid team put together this week.
I don't know about
You're
that. but-
projected to beat me by like 22 points. Like it looks ugly. Like you're projected.
Yeah, I'm trying to
like
get you a
one
little
thing.
bit of credit here.
I mean, we're basically sitting here waiting for Chubb to come back and hoping Eckler takes a long time to come back. And
So you were saying in the other league you got the almost same squad that I got right now?
yeah, except I have Mahomes instead of Wilson. My team went off for like 188 this week.
So you should definitely eat the same breakfast, lunch, and dinner as you did that day instead of this whack team you fucking produced out of this draft.
Wow.
Lost my
That's
first
a statement.
lost my first draft within 5 minutes. Like we haven't won since. We were looking good when we had them.
True, you were looking deadly at the beginning. Chubb leaving was tough.
Yeah, I mean Eckler.
What is his projections? When is he back?
They have a bye this week. And he's
Next
coming
week,
back.
it looks like.
Yeah.
Him and Eckler next week.
So here's Kirch's remaining schedule. Ready?
It's iffy next week, bro.
Kirch's remaining schedule. This week he's got Daffy. Next week he's got Ross, like you said. Then he's got Hall. So 3 straight podcasts. So and then he's got Sheehan, and then me, and then Dim.
Sheen's
That dim
low-key
one.
got a nice spot.
That dim one, the last game of the season, could be for a regular season champ.
True. But
Could
definitely
just be for a
not.
playoff
You could
spot.
be big, too.
Yeah, some
Please.
tough opponents on there besides the Nappers, really.
Yeah, fuck off.
Sheen's low-key. I'm pretty sure if I was looking right, he's got the second most points in the league, and he's 4-4.
He's got some players.
I mean, yeah.
Open league,
I'm
we'll
looking
see
at
what
it right
happens. Before we send you guys off, you got any bold predictions for the podcast here?
I might have one.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Patrick Jamross doing the taking the last place trophy by the end of the year.
Oh, that's a bold one.
I second that as well. That was also my bold prediction. Ross going to the basement.
Whoa.
I can see it. Lane's starting to turn his shit around.
I
Darrow's
mean-
turning his shit around.
Wayne to get 4 wins is a lot. But we're fighting for a playoff spot. Last place, that's stuff Dap can worry about.
We appreciate you coming on.
Hell yeah.
Best of luck the rest of the way, and we will talk soon.
Sounds good, homies.
Peace.
See ya.
Ciao.
See ya, boys.
Hey.
All right. Good to hear from the Valley members. Wish we had a couple more call in, but maybe next week. Let's move on to over under. All right. So Ross is 8-4, D Brown 7-5, and I'm on a slide at 6-6, as Ross put it.
Let's go. First place.
First
Yeah,
place,
he
D Brown.
took second, but it's still close. It's all still close. Let's go.
It's all close. D Brown, who you going with?
My over this week is I was just hitting on it, talking about Kirch's team a little bit. Brandon Cooks at his flex pretty much is only not set it and forget it, right? I mean, other than that, his lineup set it and forget it. Cook, Jacobs, Metcalf, and Tyreek Wilson. But yeah, Brittany Gronk now looking like a top tight end. I got Brandon Cooks in a good matchup. He's been pretty solid. I don't have his stats, but he's had like 8, 7, and like 6 catches his past 3 games. And the Jags are going to be starting this new like backup third string QB. So I expect the Texans to have some good field position. 10.7. I think Cooks goes over that.
Like it. Ross, what are you going with?
I'm going with kind of a bold little gut pick. Henry Ruggs, the third, over 7.1. He had a kind of a BSTD taken off the board last week. I think there was a lot of wind in that game coming into the Dome in Los Angeles. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Carr likes to take a couple shots to him. He just feels like a home run hitter who's due to hit a home run, and I can see a couple catches for 100+ and maybe even a couple TDs.
Oh, that's a bold one.
2 trippers. So
I looked at his games. He hasn't really gone like over 7 at all this year. Maybe once, I think.
Yeah, he had that big game against the Chiefs.
Yep.
But he's a rookie. We're hoping he's going to get the ball a little more.
all right, maybe not. So we'll both have some room to make up on Ross here, D. I'm going to go with Ross's boy, a Pirate, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 12.7. I feel like that's a little bit low, especially against Carolina. Their run D is not great. I know Gurley wasn't terrific last week, but he even fell in for a touchdown. And I think KC's going to get up big on Carolina and then run the ball. Not too worried about Bell. 12.7 feels pretty reasonable to me. So we're rolling with it, hoping to bounce back, get out of the basement here.
It's a good one. I think these are going to sweep 3-0.
Let's see for the unders. Kick us off, D.
Stephon Diggs, he's heavily involved. I mean, you can't deny that. He gets targeted, catches like 8 catches a week. But 16.5 against the Seahawks, that should be a shootout for sure. Josh Allen has definitely struggled a little bit. Ross, I know he's not the biggest fan. 16.5, that's a lot of points. I think under that. I think the Seahawks can hold them in check.
That is a lot. I do, but that is a lot.
A ton.
Ross,
Going with a pick that I hope happens, Devontae Adams under 18.8. He's really been going off. This is another kind of bold one, but you have to think if you're San Fran's D with both of Green Bay's running backs most likely being out, the one guy in that offense you got to try and take away is Devontae Adams. So I expect the D coordinator there is pretty good. I hope he puts a good game plan, takes the ball out of Devontae's hands, and 18.8 is a high projection. I can see him going into double digits and staying well under that.
you got
He's not a beast.
wide
He's not a
receivers.
tear.
Yeah, you guys are both going stud wide receivers, high projections. I'm going to switch it up. I'm sticking with a running back. I am going with who I just mentioned, actually, Todd Gurley against the Broncos. I don't know how his projection's higher than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Brian Hill was getting involved. Smith or someone else is getting touches out of the backfield, too, for the Falcons. So Gurley's doesn't seem to be getting more of the work share. He seems to be getting less. Broncos D is pretty good, 14.5. I just don't see it. So hoping to bounce back, go 2-0. We'll see.
Gurley just has a crazy nose for the end zone. It doesn't make sense. Like that game last week,
dude.
he was barely playing, and then all of a sudden he
does.
had 11 points for Sheehan.
Like I mean, Gurley he's probably gonna hit that. I mean, I never know. He doesn't look too good.
Broncos run D is pretty good though. I like that pick.
It's true.
All right, let's move it on. Look at week 9. What's our first matchup here? The Dap Nappers Trippers. We just mentioned it. I'll kick it off here. I don't know. Like we were talking about, it looks like a tough one here for CDAP. Russell Wilson against Buffalo. That game has the makings of a shootout. Detroit's run D, not great. And, I mean, Dalvin Cook is just – look what he did last week. He's unstoppable at times. And Jacobs, DK, Hill, all like D. Brown said, set him and forget him. And we'll see what Cooks can do. But Gronk's been getting involved. That's just a team that you feel pretty solid. They're going to put up 115, 120 at least. And for the Dap Nappers, you really wish it was Chubb back this week instead of next week. That would be big for him. But Jackson and Harris at running back is, there's some upside there with the matchups against the Raiders and Jets, but you need a lot of upside, I guess. So, for you, Dap, but I am having a hard time seeing it.
You got to wonder if Dap's considering Mike Davis at all. I mean, they've held out McCaffrey for a while, but Davis has looked good. Why give McCaffrey the crazy workload in his first game back? So, and it's the Chiefs. They might be down, might be passing work. I wonder if that's weighing on the diesel over there.
Any insight, Dap?
Definitely is, especially with Amari Cooper going up against the Steelers.
I was about to say, your wideouts. I mean, Tua didn't look too good. I know it was his first start, but it's like he didn't put up too many yards. And then you got this, who knows who's playing quarterback for the Cowboys. Jamison Crowder, who knows if he plays. When he's played this year, he's put up the numbers, but there definitely could be some room for Davis in the lineup.
Yeah, Davis Crowder,
But
Cooper and Davis sliding in is definitely a possibility.
It's also risky, though. That's also risky.
Sneaky great player for Dap right now is TJ Hawkinson. There were some questions. There were some questions about trading away Andrews, but 4th position rank and no Galladay this week. He should have a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's been a solid, consistent tight end all year.
We'll see if it's Stafford comes off the COVID list.
True.
All right, let's move it on to the next one.
Charlie versus the Nets. This is a big one. This is definitely a big one. The Nets, I'd love to see the Nets take the L here. Lamar Jackson, he hasn't been playing that good all year. For the draft capital that he invested in him, Colin was he was thinking, look what he did for me last year. He said, I'm not letting anyone get their hands on him, taking him 2nd round, not paying off. The Colts have a pretty good defense, and after this game, I'm pretty sure the Lamar's schedule, it opens up. But for this week, I don't know. I'm not really liking the outlooks of Lamar against the Colts, Zeke against the Steelers, Montgomery against the Titans. I don't really like that. Last week, C-Mac stormed Le'Veon Bell, so he's losing confidence in Montgomery. You can see it. And then his wideouts, he's got 3 decent wideouts. Rob Tonyan, I don't know. Who knows? He's been consistent, I guess. But Charlie's got some questions at the running back position. This game, it seems like a toss-up right here. This one could go either way. Charlie's definitely got some questions at the running back position. Matt Breida is hurt, and he hasn't even had a role this year. Jonathan Taylor's a little banged up, but I feel like he's even got a tough matchup against the Ravens. Ridley will see
with Breida doesn't have a role this year. He's the clear deal.
Breida?
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, I don't know if he's done too much.
I mean, Gaskin, over the last 3 games, Gaskin's had 118 snaps and Breida had 45. And Jordan had a healthy scratch.
And we'll see where you go with flex. Your flex is going to be a tough call, but the Steelers got a good matchup against the Cowboys. And then we'll see if Ridley can get back. Looked like a bad injury for Ridley last week when I saw it live, but I heard the reports are that it wasn't too bad. But this one's really a toss-up. I don't really know how to call it, Ross. How about you?
Yeah, I think I agree. It's going to be even tighter than what the projections say. I think it's pretty on for Caleb's projections. I think I can see this being a mid 90s to like 105 type game. You've got to feel for Caleb because the bug that Kurtz just talked about, it found him in Kelton Street and it bit him because he's lost Godwin, Mixon, and then Taylor wasn't getting goal line work, and I was confused by that. And then I found out he was hurt. Gaskin's hurt. It's tough. Ridley, like it's been a tough stretch for him. You never want to see anyone get injuries. But again, on the flex with Hall, I just feel like all season it's been a decision that's weighing on him, and it just feels like the guy on the bench always ends up producing. So guy's got the championship caliber and mindset. Maybe he'll start figuring out putting the right flex in. But this is a big one, not only just for Caleb, but for the rest of us at 4-4 and 3-5. See Mac loses, it really jumbles up the bunch even more. So I think the league as a whole is rooting for Caleb, and I can see it being tight. I got to give the edge to Mac, though, just because of the injuries Caleb's looking at right now.
Must win for the Warriors. Let's go.
Warriors pulling trigger on trades, too. I can see them making another one before the week's over. We were in talks, and then, I don't know, he pulled out.
Yeah. Very prelim talks, but.
Definitely. But you never know with the Warriors. Are they confident going in with those RBs? We'll see.
Ross, break this one down. Sandman.
Yeah, let's do it. So, I mean, obviously the big question mark with the news is Matty Stafford going to play. Sandman's got two other QBs, both on a bye. There's not much in the waivers, so that could be a big factor. Just looking at the projections, it's Sandman's team is – I mean, I looked at his roster and I saw the Waller 13.2. That just felt like a really high projection for a tight end. But he gets the looks, and I do think that's going to be a high-scoring game. We'll see what his wideouts can do. He traded away Claypool, and then Galladay got hurt, so he was banking big on McLaurin and Robbie. They've had pretty good seasons, decent matchups. Maybe not even the best with Bradbury, but looking at D Brown's team, it's always a good sight to see CMC come back. Deshaun's kind of looking like a top 5 fantasy QB now. Edmonds getting the start. That's a great move by him to have Edmonds there. He's looked good. Miami, that could be a good matchup for him. Claypool, this could be the revenge of Claypool game. I still am not sold on J.K. Dobbins. I think Gus Edwards has looked like the best back there, and the coaches like him. They give him the ball a lot, so we'll see if Dobbins can get more involved. But I got to give the edge to Sandman just right now initially with the projections, and I think Connor, he's going to be running it a lot in the second half, and Kamara, he's a walking 20 points. So I got to give the edge to the Sand, but who knows? CMC's back, and the Rockers are hot.
CMC is not fully even confirmed back yet, so we'll see. But, I mean, I'm expecting it.
100% agree with the, especially with that statement on Dobbins. Maybe, like, they love the Gus Bus, and he's not sexy, but he gets the job done, and they got Lamar to run it too. So Dobbins is nice, but we'll see against a pretty good defense in Indianapolis. Sorry.
If I did pick up Marvin Jones Jr., so if Stafford plays, I might throw him at the flex just in case that he's throwing nobody else without Galladay. So I could snag some points from Sandman if Stafford was.
And it does look like if Carson's out, Sandman's playing AB, so that'll be an interesting Sunday night finish.
And Chris Carson being out could open the door for DJ Dallas to see my lineup. That's a fact.
Oh, wow. You could hit that flex spot, yeah.
At flex. There's still potential for Jones Jr. or who knows. We'll see if Dobbins will stay there.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Good luck in this one. D. Brown. All right, I'll break this one down. Dimmer, 7-1, another high projection week. He's had a couple projections up near 130, not quite that high this week, but still with Henry running against Chicago. We've talked about KC against the Panthers. Robinson has continued to play well. Gibson has continued to play well. We've, doubted them repeatedly on this podcast, but as long as they hold up, his wide receivers are solid. Henry and Mahomes aren't going anywhere. Dim's got a great team. I think the real question is, can Sheehan compete this week? Kyler, he's got to hope Aaron Jones plays. He's in there right now, but it's looking real questionable, right, guys?
Yeah, it's like a toss-up.
Yeah. That's what I was reading too. And then Jordan Reed, that's an interesting play right there. I didn't even realize he had him in coming off IR. He's a health risk too. So couple of question marks. David Johnson, nice pickup. Obviously, he'd rather have him than Gaskin in there right now. So that's a big plus for Sheehan. But overall, he's going to need a lot of things to go his way. And with the injury bug continuing to bite, we'll see if Thomas can finally get out there and play against Tampa. But I don't love it for Sheehan. It's a tough matchup. And we've said it. He's got a great team, but the injury bug continues to bite. And tough matchups might be 4-5 for Sheehan.
Definitely. Dim squad is nice. I mean, I'm going to keep doubting these running backs. So especially now with this third string running back or QB for the Jags, it's like maybe they're going to hand it off to Robinson more, but it's like, I don't know. I'm still not sold on them.
Yeah, it's just not that good of an offense. I feel like eventually he's gonna
come
back to. Yeah, it's been scary. I mean, Dim's team has been very scary. You got to wonder if Lockett can continue. He goes through these hot stretches in his career, and then he goes through some dud stretches. You got to wonder if that's coming up for him. But, I mean, that team's scary. There's a reason he's in first, and with Sheehan's injury problems, I can't see Dim not winning this.
I think it'll be
All right, we got one more matchup here. Who wants to break it down? D. Brown, I'll give it to you, and then we'll get Ross's.
Pirates versus CDs. TDs projected for a ton. Where's he getting these points from? Holy, Josh Allen, I guess. And
I mean, I'll say this just quickly. CDs, TDs is not a 1-7 team. Like they've put up some points. They're a scary squad.
For sure. I mean, Adams is a stud. He's like number 7th wideout, and he missed like 3 or 4 games. Josh Allen, see if he can get back on track. He should have to keep up with Wilson. And then Melvin Gordon against the Falcons, McKinnon against the Green Bay if that game happens. Travis Kelce's a beast. Over here we got Ross, Dallas, freaking Big Ben against Dallas. You got to love that. Big Ben, if you don't put up points here, Ross is probably going to get rid of you. So
this is the last chance.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's an overpick. I kind of like it. It should be a good game for the Chiefs. They should be up in it unless the Panthers and CMC can make it a game. DeAndre Swift, that's I don't know. His role, their AP is still there, so it's tough. Ross's team, definitely not the same team we saw a couple weeks ago. It kind of looks like Ross is the underdog. I mean, I know the points say that, but I'm going to say it also.
I mean, we're coming in with the underdog mindset. We've had this week circled on our schedule for a while as kind of a scary one because Hunt's on a bye. Sanders is on a bye, who's also kind of hurt, and then Odell was supposed to be on a bye. So we had a lot of byes coming up, and then Debo got hurt, and then just hour before, Ayuk got ruled out, who I liked a lot, looked real good these past couple of weeks. So we had to pick a waiver guy up, and Emmanuel Sanders right now, he's playing there. So I think I got to make a move. I've been talking with some people about a QB, and I think I also got to talk with some people now after the Ayuk news about a flex. But we got to try and squeak this out, though. It is the 1-7 CD TDs. I think those projections are a little high for him. I think Hasty's going to get the most of the work over McKinnon, and then it looks like Philip Lindsay's looking pretty good there too with Gordon. So we're going to need to pull this out, but it's going to be tough.
I'll just pick up off one thing D. Brown said to kind of wrap it up here that, a couple of weeks ago, Ross is looking really good. I think we did power rankings. He was 1 on his own list, 2 on mine. Sheehan, we talked about, is potentially making a big run, and the injuries have continued to hit him. I view this year, it's 2020, man. We've seen it. Anything can happen. It's been craziness, and I think that's going to play out in the Valley this year. I really think that, right now there's a pack of teams sitting there. I think one of the teams is going to emerge, get hot, get a nice pickup or two, and that's going to be your champion. I think a team like, Kirch or Dim right now, they're looking good, but I see the injury bug biting everyone. I don't think it's going to play favorites this year. Something is going to happen, and I don't see if one of those two teams winning the championship. I see continuing to roll around, and we'll see where it ends up. But I think a team that's 5-3 or worse right now is going to win it all.
Wow,
I
love
like
it.
that prediction because if you look at those two teams, Kirch said it. Dim lost Henry for 1 week with COVID, but it ended up just being his bye, so he didn't even lose Henry. They've been pretty clean all around on injuries, and it's just like you never know what's going to happen come playoffs. If someone gets test positive, it's going to be crazy, and people are going to be devastated. And I'm just hoping I'm there for the big show.
You know it. Any last thoughts, Steve Brown?
No, I mean, I got some stats I can read out, just like some cool stats that might be interesting for people to hear. There might be some of their players on it. Yards after the catch by position, the leader by position, yards after the catch. Who do you think it is for running back?
Kamara.
Carl, you agree?
I would go Kamara, but if not, then I'm going to say
Yards after the catch for RBs.
Mike Davis.
Kamara.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kamara. 522. For wide receivers, this is a sneaky one. Yards after the catch. On the Rams,
Woods.
Cooper Kupp, 310.
Wow.
Yep. Tight end, Travis Kelce, yards after the catch, 295 yards. Then we got
I would have guessed Kittle.
no, that was Travis Kelce.
I know. I said I would have guessed Kittle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I got some more here. Oh, no, I thought I did, but that's it, I guess.
All right. I like that, though. Maybe we'll start ending the podcast with that.
I had a couple more that I was trying to get on, but I couldn't. Like, there was one that was like Philip Lindsay. They're just talking because Ross was saying how Philip Lindsay is, like, obviously, definitely his role, like, is big there. There was something saying, like, out of all the running backs in the league with either, like, 45 or 75 touches, Philip Lindsay is the leader with 6.4 yards a touch or something like that. Yards a carry or something. But yeah,
He's
you
always
definitely start
been
getting
pretty
some stats.
good.
Yeah, Lindsey's nice. He's been getting work the last couple of games, too. He's been getting a lot of work.
All right, boys. It looks like Georgia's getting close. Let's go see if we can figure out who our next president is.
Nice.
If we can get a win this week, huh?
Definitely.
That's
All
the
right.
plan.
Next
Good
week.
luck to all.
Peace out to the
Boys.
Let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's go to. This shit be like Friday nights. This shit made me feel alive. Feel like we in paradise.
Paradise.